Long way from society, lucky I'm alive. Yeah, I know I'm far from home, but I'll survive. I'm jumping right into the depths, just hold my breath, not going without a fight. I'm diving in too deep, an ocean in my head.
It's been over 2 years since Subnautica Below Zero started development. And now that the full game has splashed down, it's time to dive back into those monster-infested waters and see if they're as scary as we remember. Spoiler alert, they are!
Yeah, the yelling in the office kind of gave that away. So this is our new office.
What's in there?
We don't talk about that.
What is that?
We need to get this place soundproofed.
You play as Robin, a xenologist, that's someone who studies extraterrestrial life. She travels to the planet 4546b to find her missing sister Sam. But naturally, nothing goes as planned, and her pod is struck by a meteor, crash landing into the icy waters of Sector Zero. Home to all manner of creatures, great and small, friendly and not so friendly.
Yeah, that crab from The Little Mermaid was a stone-cold liar. The sea is truly a terrifying place. Though, to be fair, the surface world isn't that much safer. In survival mode, you'll be balancing Robin's food and water supply, health, oxygen,
Warning, 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
and temperature. Spend too long underwater and you'll suffocate.
Oxygen.
Stay on the snow-covered surface and you'll freeze, assuming none of the wildlife gets to you first. Oh, and speaking of wildlife,
Go on, get it out of your system.
the panglings. My sweet, bug-eyed, feathery, beaky, sneezy children are just as cute as ever, and I love them all so very, very much. Okay, I'm good, thanks. Just need to get that out there.
Oh, no, it's fine. Plus, it gives me permission to gush over the deep sea creatures for a hot minute. There's a lot of distinct locations throughout the map, and each has its own standout attraction to be admired, or in some cases, kept as far away from as physically possible. My personal favorite is the big floating jellyfish thing, partly because they're beautiful, but also because they haven't tried to eat me yet. Yet being the key word there.
How gorgeous is this game, though? The attention to detail in the environments and the creatures that call it home really help to make the area feel lived in and otherworldly. It makes those trips outside the safety of your base to search for resources and hidden alien artifacts that much more exciting because there's always something new to see along the way. Which is good because, like in the original, Below Zero really relies on you pushing yourself to work out where to go and what to do next through clues and exploration.
I really liked this sort of mysterious storytelling. There's nothing really forcing you to push ahead outside of your own curiosity, which leaves you plenty of breathing room to grind for resources, upgrade your equipment, and expand your bases to better tackle those more treacherous areas. And every bit of info or secret I uncovered just made me want to find out more. It's a really compelling gameplay loop, and I kept finding myself saying, just one more trip into the deep, and then I'll go to bed.
Oh, me too, don't worry. It is worth mentioning, though, that the map this time around is quite a bit smaller than the original Subnautica, but I didn't really mind that so much. Sure, you end up backtracking through areas you've already explored, but you spend way less time aimlessly floating around trying to get your bearings in empty waters. And if you're like me and constantly forgetting things, those emergency trips back to base are a lot less frustrating when you're traveling shorter distances.
Jem, you might have an easier time if you actually organize your things instead of just dumping them everywhere. Seriously, the outside of your first base looked like a tornado had just come through.
I prefer to think of it as my personal museum. Everything is on display. And besides, it's not my fault I keep running out of inventory space. You can't stack single items of the same type. So out in the field, you end up either having to drop things and hope you can find them again, or make multiple trips back and forth to a storage spot.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Which is kind of frustrating. But overall, what did you think of Subnautica Below Zero, Rad?
Well, for me, it nails that balance between letting you roam free and giving you something cool to work towards. Whether you're a chilled, laid-back explorer who just wants to run around looking at fish and collecting shiny rocks, or a risk-taker who enjoys escaping death by the skin of their teeth, Subnautica Below Zero has something for you to enjoy. And if nothing else, it has given me a healthy fear of the deep blue sea. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Despite the downsides from the previous game, Subnautica Below Zero is every bit as awesome as its predecessor and has held on tight to everything that made it so much fun. The beautiful environments, the sense of adventure, the joys of discovery. It's all here and wrapped up in a surprisingly emotional story to boot. You will have to pry me off this with a crowbar. I'm giving Subnautica Below Zero 5 out of 5 rubber chickens. Ah! Every time. Whew.